and an officer on every bus.
Thank you. I apologize that we're running just a little bit late, but we had a good bit of activity today, and including some that's just happened. Let me just start off by saying the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service advises us that Hurricane Gustav will reach Category 5 intensity in the Gulf of Mexico, and people should proceed accordingly. The track of the hurricane continues to be about the same. However, we all know from Ivan, from Katrina, that hurricanes have a tendency, at least in my 5 years as governor, to tick to the east right at the last. You'll remember that Ivan was anticipated to come in around Biloxi Bay, and actually in the last few hours ticked to the right and came in on the east side of Mobile Bay. So it would not be unusual for this hurricane to turn a little bit to the east right at the last. So I don't think Mississippians should take comfort that the tracks continue to show that the hurricane is likely to come in the central Louisiana, on the central Louisiana coast. People should also be aware that the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center, have advanced the time for the hurricane to make landfall. They believe the hurricane will proceed at a faster speed, not only as a Category 5 hurricane in the Gulf, but one that will move through the Gulf at a faster rate, so that tropical storm winds are likely to come on shore during the night Sunday, Monday morning about 2 o'clock perhaps, and that the eye of the storm is likely to come on shore Monday afternoon, where it had previously been thought that it would be Monday night or even early Tuesday morning. So people need to prepare that we will start having serious weather conditions during the night Sunday and early Monday morning, and that the eye of the storm, wherever it comes ashore, will likely come ashore sometime in the afternoon and maybe even the early afternoon Monday. Governor Jindal of Louisiana and I have talked several times, including just a few minutes ago. Mississippi has an agreement with Louisiana to provide contraflow, that is, to turn the interstate highways, Interstate 55 and Interstate 59, so that all the lanes run north. We have agreed that we will begin contraflow at 4 a.m. Sunday morning. That at 4 a.m. Interstate 59 from the Louisiana state line to Poplarville, all the lanes will run north. And Interstate 55 from the Louisiana line to Bogachita, all the lanes will run north. We intend to continue contraflow at least till midnight Sunday night. However, if the traffic is bumper to bumper and there's more traffic than the 2 lanes can take, we'll continue contraflow at least for a few more hours. We have had a report today from the Mississippi National Guard. They have about 1,300 soldiers who are in Hancock and Harrison County that are going door to door in low-lying areas to places where there are FEMA trailers, whether they're travel trailers or mobile homes, to places where there are Katrina cottages, Mississippi cottages that are sitting in the low-lying areas, and they are knocking on doors and telling people they have to evacuate tomorrow, and encourage them to go on and evacuate. And let me just say, General Freeman reported to our group that people have been saying, we've got our bags packed, we're just watching TV. Well, you need to leave. If you got your bags packed, batten down the hatches at home and get your whatever's out in the yard secured where it doesn't get blown through your neighbor's window, and then go on and leave if you're thinking about leaving. Don't wait till Sunday night, much less Monday, because the storm is coming in faster. And we hope and pray that it'll continue to move to the west of us. But there's no guarantee of that, and with our past experience, we just need to realize that this storm can turn a little bit to the east and Mississippi take a big part of the brunt. I have had considerable reports about very heavy traffic coming out of Louisiana and across South Mississippi. We ask people to be patient. Also, lines at service stations in South Mississippi. We're informed by the people that have oil and gas gasoline distribution, gasoline terminals, that there is plenty of gas. It's just you have the possibility that a particular station might run out or might have a long line. Where that happens, those stations will be able to get refilled and be back open in a matter of, depending on what time of day, maybe hours or maybe the next morning. But there is not a gasoline shortage. There's plenty of motor fuel in Mississippi, including in South Mississippi. With that, I'd like to let Superintendent Hank Bounds give you a quick report on the major effort that the State Department of Education is undertaking to help people who don't have transportation to get off the coast. And so, Hank.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow morning at about 7:30, we will begin the process of convoying in very small groups, about 125 buses south. Those buses will stage at Forest County Agricultural High School, and then they will leave there in small convoys going to both Harrison and Hancock County. Then once they are filled with passengers, they will then return to Forest County AHS, stop for comfort packs, a short break, and then they will proceed on to the Coliseum in Jackson or other designated areas in the metro area to drop our passengers. So that process will begin tomorrow morning, and we should have sufficient buses, both regular buses and special needs buses. Governor?
Thank you, Hank. Hank will be available for questions. I do want to thank him. As far as we know, no State Department of Education has ever taken on such a responsibility in a disaster, and so we're very grateful to the 100-and-something school bus drivers and bus security officers who'll be on board. I've got the Chief of the Highway Patrol, Mike Berthay, and the head of law enforcement for the Department of Transportation, Willie Huff. Their two operations will be more or less responsible for contraflow. His teams will actually be doing the erection of the barriers, and Colonel Berthay's teams will be providing them with security and support. If you want to ask questions of either of them, please feel free to. And with that, we'll stop and take your questions.
As far as communications, other than the media, are the signs that MDOT has in some Mississippi roadways going to be used, and also is there an emergency alert system of any kind that may be utilized?
The message boards that we just installed around Jackson are operational. We're putting up phone numbers for information for folks to be able to call. We've also talked to a private advertising firm that has digital message boards in and around the southern part of the state, and they've been gracious enough to allow us to post messages on their digital billboards. The signs state on evacuation routes where to tune on your radio for information. We also have a website at MDOT if people will access it, as well as MEMA that's got all the phone numbers for emergency information.
We do appreciate the news media, the radio stations, the newspapers, the TV stations, for their support in making evacuation route information available to people. We do ask radio stations in particular to confirm information before you broadcast it. During Katrina, we had an example where a radio station in Hattiesburg reported that a major arterial road was closed, and it wasn't. But really, so we would ask any radio station in particular, or TV station, if you have a report of some traffic problem, to confirm it with MDOT or the Department of Public Safety, Mississippi Highway Patrol, because we need you to share information. We just need to make sure it's confirmed, good information. Questions?
Are there any shelters open today? I know 18 of them, I believe, if that's correct, Mr. Womack. Just you could just elaborate on that.
We've received reports officially of 10, but as normally happens in something like this, anyone can open a shelter. Any church can do it. Any community group can do it, and they don't always get reported to us. We know at least 400, approximately 400 people are in those 10 shelters, but we would anticipate there's more opening probably as we speak, and we'll keep you updated on those numbers as much as possible. And we are opening some special needs shelters. We're anticipating needing up to 600 beds for special needs patients. So we're working on both of those, but as I said, shelters can be opened and not ever reported to us.
I would say about shelters again. Tomorrow's a big day. There are going to be some people who are going to need shelter tonight, but the real push is going to be tomorrow and tomorrow night, and perhaps the following night. But I would remind Mississippi families that one of the best things that they can do is reach out to their friends, family members, former college roommate, former coworker, former preacher, or whomever that lives on the coast now, and invite them to come to Laurel or Tupelo or Yazoo City and to stay in your home. We had a lot of this in previous hurricanes, and it really does make a difference. And so I hope people will again open their homes to their friends and family, because there's no way to have enough shelters for everybody who might evacuate. And this is one way that people can really do something useful. And we do thank particularly the churches that have all the shelters and the Red Cross that helps coordinate it. Yes, sir.
And then, do you know when they're planning to open up the Mississippi Coliseum?
You want to talk back about the Coliseum, Mike?
We have already developed what's called a mission assignment, because that is a state-owned facility, and they're prepared to open as soon as needed. We would anticipate sometime tomorrow. A lot of that's going to be based on the number of people we get coming on the bus evacuation and just other general evacuations. But we will post that to our website, go out with news releases frequently to let everybody know when it's going to be opened.
Do we have any idea how many people the National Guard were able to get in touch with today as far as evacuating on the NOC mission?
We did not ask General Freeman that, but they've been doing it for hours, and they continue to do it, and they'll be doing it all day tomorrow, too.
There was a lot of traffic on the roads coming into the state, and gas has been running out. Have there been any reports of any unruly behavior or anything like that among
Not that I've heard. And we don't really expect any. We have been through this before. It's not pleasant, and sometimes it has a horrific outcome like Katrina. But our people normally get along and are courteous to each other and understand that when they're really 2,500 cars an hour going down 2 lanes of Interstate 55, it's just not going to be as easy as it is some days, and we ask people to keep their chin up and a good attitude about it. Thank you all.